Hey everyone, Sheena here from Crafty Mama Journals, bringing you a tutorial for our super cute Timekeeper's Voyage Folio. This project is jam-packed with folders, tuck areas, and other fun places to store all the ephemera and fussy cuts that are included. So come along with me and create this time-inspired piece. Let's start with the front cover. You have 2 pages. The one with the keyhole will end up being the outside, and the compass will be the inside of the front cover. For this tutorial, I've already folded all areas that need folds. The keyhole page has 2 folds and the compass just 1. You'll see that you need to line up the pages with the folds going together. Put a nice layer of glue on one of the pages, including that first flap, and place those pages together. I like to use my bone folder just to really get that glue spread out and get those pages stuck. Once you've done that, I like to check my folds and make sure I still have nice, crisp lines. I'll use my bone folder again, just to make sure it's nice and flat. I do want to mention as well that all parts of this folio were printed on cardstock. From here, we're going to move on to the center page. We'll start by adding a belly band. I gave you 2 options for this one, a lighter and a darker version. I'm going to use the darker one for my project. What I didn't do was put fold lines on the belly band, because I wanted you to be able to be creative. Maybe you don't want a belly band in the middle, but you'd like it somewhere else. I kind of felt that if there were fold lines, it would limit you. It's easy though to figure out where to fold the band. You just lay everything upside down and center it up. Then you'll fold one side over, glue that side, and what's left you'll fold over for the other side and glue. And there you have it, belly band is on. Let's get this back piece attached to the front cover. Take the piece with the belly band and the front cover piece we've just worked on. On the front cover, you're going to want to put glue on that last flap. That's where we will attach the piece with the belly band. Make sure not to cover up the flap from the previous piece. I went ahead and used my bone folder again just to spread that glue out, keep it all nice and tight. And then once you've got it on there, you'll want to go ahead and check your folds again. I take my bone folder and I'm going to push those folds down, make sure that I have nice, crisp creases. All right, we've got the front and back covers together. It's time to work on the right side panel. I've created a little tuck area on this panel, so you'll want to take the blue page and the page with the flower. We're only putting glue around the top, bottom, and left side so that we don't close in that pocket. Okay, once we've got that done, we're putting this side together just like the front cover piece. You'll take the page with a compass, making sure you folded both areas, and place glue all on the full panel and the first flap. Then we're just going to line up the blue page on the top and attach the two flaps together, exactly the same way we did the front cover. Now that we've got this panel ready, let's go ahead and set it off to the side and let it dry. We'll come back to it later. Time to add some flaps. You'll have two flap pieces that should have been printed double-sided. There are lines on each of these to fold in. Make sure they're nice and crisp. The smaller of the two flaps goes on the top, and the larger on the bottom. You'll just add glue on the insides of the folds and glue them to the back side of that back cover. Once the flaps are on, you can either leave them as is or create a closure. I used a couple of the button pieces included to create mine, along with some foam insulating tape. I like to use this because it's nice and sticky and very cost effective. You could also use brads or even just punch holes in the top and bottom flap and add string to tie them closed. From here, let's add in the envelopes. You have a larger and smaller envelope, and they both go together the same way. Just fold all the lines, and then fold the two flaps inward. Place glue on those two flaps, and fold the front end up. To complete the envelopes, you just need to fold the top flap down. You can leave these as is, or use a hook and loop closure here if you'd like. Once the envelopes are glued together, you just need to put glue on the backside and center them up on the top and bottom flaps. And now we're ready to attach the right panel to the back side. You'll do this the same way we did the front cover. So just put glue on that last flap on the right panel, and then we're going to attach it to the back side of the back cover. Now let's add the pockets on the left side. You've got a tall and a short pocket to add here. You can either even them both up at the bottom of the page or lift the back pocket up a bit for a different look. I'm just going to line mine up at the bottom. You'll want to make sure that you're only gluing on the bottom and the two side edges so you don't close your pocket up. Now it's time for the file folders on the outside of the right panel. You have 4 of them that should be printed double-sided, so the cutout on the front shows pretty paper on the back. You'll see each of these have 2 flaps on the bottom and 1 flap on the side. To put our file folders together, you'll need to fold in the side flap and the bottom flap that is on the back side, which is not the side with the cutout. Leave that flap out because that's how we'll attach it to the panel. Once you've got all the folders made, you just need to decide what order you'd like to put them in. Place glue on that flap and fold it in toward the back of the folder and line it up on the page. Continue with this for each of the folders, leaving just a bit of a gap between each one to make sure they all have room to fold up. We've got one more pocket to add to this main piece. Open the folio back up to the back panel and take the folder piece that matches that panel. Fold the flaps in and place glue on them. Then just line it up on the bottom and you've got a bit of a hidden pocket. Now the only part that we need to finish the main folio is to add the back panel on. Just line it with a nice coat of glue, making sure not to add too much so it won't seep out, and place the panel on the back. You can use your bone folder to make sure to get a nice seal. Then, this part of the folio is done and it's time to move on to the insert. Of course, I wanted to add in an insert to include even more pockets and tuck areas. You can never have too many. Let's start with our file folders. You have a couple options here. You can either just print the backside with the flaps double-sided and have some super cute tab areas, or you can do what I've done and printed the backside double-sided and printed the front side so I can make them into more tuck areas. If you do them the way I have, you'll just need to add a line of glue along the top, bottom, and one side to make that pocket. Once those are made, we're going to attach them to the front flap of our insert. You'll just need to fold the flap down on the file folder and glue it to the back side of the page. You'll want to start with the largest folder on the bottom and work up from there. Now we've got those file folders glued on, let's add the back side of the panel. Glue this one completely down. While working through these panels, you'll see that you have one extra. I wanted to give you some flexibility on which panels to use in your creation, so when you're all done, you will have one panel left over. Next, let's build this folding pocket. Take the rounded page and fold on the lines. If you're having a tough time finding them, it just needs to be folded where the straight lines stop and the shape starts to curve. Once you've got that, you'll take the other flaps and glue the bottom folded area of those onto the back side of that page. Now it's time to add our back panels onto the front that we've already made. Take the panel with the file folders that we created earlier and choose one of the two remaining panels to glue on the back. You'll put glue on the flap of the front panel and attach the back panel on that. Then we're going to open it up and place our folding pocket on the inside. You can fully glue this one on. Now let's add some more pockets. We've got a few options for this, and again, I've given you an extra so you can decide which you want to use. When gluing these, just make sure to only do the sides and bottom. You'll want to put a pocket on under the file folders, the very back panel, and on the inside on the opposite side of the folding pocket. I'm going to go ahead and put a closure on this area. And again, I think I'll use the buttons and foam insulation tape. I love these cute little clock buttons. And just like that, we're done. We've got a complete Timekeeper's Voyage Folio. The only thing left is to decorate it. Luckily, I've added in tons of ephemera and fussy cuts. Now that I've given this a bit to stick, I'm going to add some twine in to hold these two flaps together. I'm also going to add twine in on these two buttons. Let's take a quick peek at the extras. We've got cards and tickets, fussy cuts of compass roses, books, bookshelves, telescopes, clocks, keyholes, and more. There's lots of tags too, and some cute tickets with meaningful phrases. Just a bit of everything to fill your folio. With so many pockets and places to put things, how will you fill your creation? What are you most excited about with this folio? Let me know in the comments. And there you have it, the Timekeeper's Voyage Folio. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to be notified when I create new projects.